From life-threatening injuries
Fired and hit to Mako and dropped down.
to careers ending on the spot with blood staining the ice.
There's the hit. Sabrin is coming over to throw the hit.
These are the most intense hockey hits ever. Rafi Torres straight up bulldozed Marian Hossa, slamming himself right into him.
Chicago tied both games late. Down they go after.
It resulted in wrecking his season and bagging himself a 25-game suspension. It looked very brutal.
On the ice and didn't see Torres coming. And he hit him with a shoulder.
In March 2007, Chris Simon straight up lost it at the Nassau Coliseum. After taking a hit from Ryan Hallweg, the Islanders enforcer grabbed his stick and swung like he was aiming for the fences.
Oh boy. You know what? That wasn't in the midsection. That was up high.
The wild swing hit Hallweg across the shoulder pads and face, and Simon got slapped with a 25-game suspension. Chicago's Connor Murphy got rocked by Ottawa's Parker Kelly.
To the far side. Murphy pitches in. He takes a big hit. The first penalty.
Connor collapsed instantly and left on a stretcher.
He was going in an overly dangerous hit when this contact started.
Kelly was fined with a game misconduct for the brutal hit.
What no one wants to see.
On the power play.
Florida's Richard Zednik took a nightmare skate blade to the neck.
On MacArthur. Oh boy, Zednik! Oh my goodness!
My God, is bleeding bad.
Forcing him off the ice. The injury looked scary enough to send everyone in the stands silent. Next up, we have Brian Marchment's wild accident.
Just as Marchment was flying that way, and he went in to the penalty.
Edmonton's Brian Marchment took an accidental dive straight into the Stars' penalty box.
You can see that Guy Carbonneau in no way even touched the door. If anyone is blamed for the premature opening, it is the time penalty.
It turned into one of hockey's wildest self-KOs.
He fell all by himself. Nobody hit him at all on the shoot-in.
And Carbonneau was the first player.
Todd Bertuzzi's brutal sucker punch on Steve Moore in 2004 shattered his career. The hit broke Moore's neck, ending his time on ice. Bertuzzi's indefinite suspension marked one of the NHL's darkest moments. On February 21st, 2000, Bruins enforcer Marty McSorley slashed Vancouver's Donald Brashear in the head with his stick.
I think Marty, in all fairness,
Brashear hit the ice concussed, and McSorley was booted from the NHL.
on the ice now with 2.7 seconds.
He was later convicted of assault and received 18 months probation.
For some reason, I think Marty McSorley's been in 2 checks last year.
John Tavares took a brutal hit against Montreal, collapsing awkwardly on the ice. He was swiftly stretchered off, leaving the arena in stunned silence.
How much of it do you actually remember?
I don't remember the hit. I remember the whole day, my first couple of shifts, and then I remember faintly, parts of it.
The incident was brutal enough to spark immediate concern over on-ice safety. Next up, Jake Evans dazzled with an empty net goal.
Can he tuck it in? He does. Pays a price, but scores the
But
goal.
a crushing hit from Mark Scheifele turned brilliance into a setback.
Shea Weber's really heated up.
I know your focus.
The impact forced him off the ice on a stretcher.
A young guy who became a very important.
Luke Brzezowski's accident became one of the most highlighted moments.
And he hits, it looked like Boucher made the hit there. Very innocent hit. You'll see, nothing really. I think it was when he fell down, when he might have
He
been.
was quickly stretchered off after a brutal injury during an Ottawa 67s game.
And a hit directly in
And
front.
they need medic right away.
The incident was truly terrifying to witness.
And they're moving immediately. Not sure.
He's awake, which is great. When he first went down, it was scary. You saw it briefly on the screen.
Washington Capitals' Tom Wilson delivered a vicious hit to Brandon Carlo during a forecheck.
Vrana's forehand. Carlo has a head hit by Wilson.
The strike slammed Carlo's head against the glass.
Right there, that's high and hard. Certainly worth penalty minutes. Oh, and Vrana, like the cross check to the back of the.
He's back in there.
Carlo was in bad shape and had to be helped off the ice.
Roughing, right? Which is the maximum. Yeah, this doesn't look good for Brandon Carlo.
During a game against the New York Islanders, Kuzmenko was struck square in the chin by a deflected puck.
Fired and hit Kuzmenko and dropped down in the crease. Oh no.
He crashed to the ice in some serious pain. It looked very scary at first, but he was later confirmed to be safe. The reply showed that it was a deflected hit.
Closer. It looked to me like it went off the shoulder pads first and maybe just glanced up. And now that we see it on this angle, it scared me a lot more when it happened. But there...
Marcus Kruger of the Chicago Blackhawks suffered a concussion on December 18th, 2018.
Hartman racing for contact and he unloaded on the checker. I think that's Kruger and he can't get up.
After an accidental elbow from Ryan Hartman, he left the game with a bloody face in the second period.
I don't think he ever moves it. He's skating backwards, so you know what I mean, Pat? It doesn't seem like he goes from low to high.
The injury was brutal enough to keep him out for multiple games. Los Angeles Kings' Sean Walker took a brutal slap shot to the face from Matt Dumba, leaving him bloodied and in need of immediate medical attention.
Dumba winds and fires. It was blocked out front by Walker.
The impact was so severe that he required stitches and had to miss a couple of games. It was a terrifying sight for any hockey fan.
That has a lot of experience in that department will be able to look him over, but they, even compared to Fifth National Hockey League, that I don't see more of that, just with the way these guys shoot the puck.
Scott Saburan got knocked out cold after a brutal head collision with David Bax.
Looks like there's an injury here. They're calling for the training staff.
But he gave a thumbs up while being stretchered off, a great gesture of bravery and sportsman spirit to conclude this video.